Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day. The grapes are picked, and if you hang on till after the break, we'll show you what we're going to do with them.
Check it out.
Alright guys, today we've got a lot of footage to get through and a little time to get it done, so we want to try to make this as short as possible. Guys, what we're going to do, we've got our grapes in the house. The first part of the video, we're going to break those grapes down into juice. The second part of the video, we're going to use mason jars and we're going to can up some grape jelly, and you guys will probably enjoy that. We'll show you our universal recipe that will help you get your jelly to set, or your jam to set. But we're going to go through that in the second segment, and then in the third segment we've got a kind of a little bit of a treat for you. We're going to break out the Weck jars, and if you don't know what those are, that'll be interesting for you. But it's a European way of canning. They use glass jars with glass lids and rubber seals and clamps to hold them on. So it's a interesting way of canning, but we're going to take the rest of our grape juice and we're just going to can it as juice, and we'll show you how we do that using the Weck jars. So guys, we're just going to go on. We'll get into this footage. I'll pop back in and out through the video and kind of let you know what stage we're at, but then we'll just see you at the end. So guys, let's get into this footage and we'll check it out. How first off here, we'll see how Tina turns our grape harvest into grape juice.
On today's edition of What is Tina Up To Today, the answer is grapes. All of these grapes, and they've got to go through this juicer so that we can make grape jelly. These are all the grapes that I picked the other day, and they are all washed and ready, and this is going to take a while, so I'll bring you back in a little while when I got a little bit of juice coming out. Okay, you can see that the first set of grapes is cooking down pretty good. I'm probably going to steam my camera up. But I just took out the first bit of juice. I don't know if you can see it down there in the picture. But I also put a little bit in this clear cup so you could see it. But there's obviously going to be a lot because that's only the first batch of grapes. So I'm going to be at this for a while. But that's what I've got so far. And it tastes really grapey. It needs a little bit of sugar, but should be just perfect for some jelly later. But let me get back at it and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Just a quick update. I am about 2.5 hours into this adventure, and I've got almost 2 gallons. Those are half-gallon jars, and the picture is a gallon. So we're coming up on 2 gallons, and I just wanted to take a second to tell you that if you don't own one of these, you should. They're wonderful. It makes it so easy. But let me get back to work to show you that I've got almost 2 gallons, and I still have quite a bit of grapes to go through, so there will be lots to have to make jelly, and we were talking about just bottling some juice. So let me get back at it, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so 6 hours later, I have 3.5 gallons of fresh grape juice, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready to make a triple batch of grape jelly. So stick around, we'll be right back.
Alright guys, that gets us from fresh picked grapes to grape juice, and the next step we're going to just keep right on moving through this stuff. So the next step, we're going to turn it into grape jelly, and we're going to can it in mason jars, and that's a way of canning that you guys are used to seeing with the water bath canning. So no real explanations needed. If you need a good canning recipe, if you have trouble with your jellies or jams setting, we're going to go through our, it's kind of the 5, 7, 1, and a dash recipe, but If you've had trouble with your stuff setting, you'll want to pay attention to the recipe, and it works with fresh fruit, juice, about anything you want to do with it. So we'll dive on in here. We're going to make some grape jelly, and then we're going to move on and we'll show you another thing that you might enjoy. So hang on, and we'll get to those. We'll get to that canning here. All right, guys, I'm going to jump in here and help Tina do a little filming as she gets ready to put together her grape jelly, or jam, whatever you want to call it. We're not going to run it through jelly bags, so it's going to be kind of a hybrid. But just what we're doing here, T.
15 cups.
All right, we're going to start out. We're going to need 15 cups of juice. That's we're going to make a triple batch, so each batch takes 5 cups of juice. So, like she said, we're gonna have 15 cups of juice, and I believe each batch is going to take 7 cups of sugar, but we'll get to that here in a second. We're just going to get this up, and then what do? Bring this to a boil, or we got more stuff to add to it?
Just the pectin and some butter.
We're going to add pectin and butter to it, and then bring it to a boil. Alright, guys, we're going to go ahead and we'll let her get this finished up, then we'll add the pectin. It's going to be, we're making a triple batch, so it's going to be 1 box or 1 pouch of pectin. Got that back here per batch, so we'll add 3. And then she's got her little tablespoonful of butter there in the middle there, and that's to gather up all the foam in the jelly. So we'll get these things added together and get it stirred up, get it up to a boil. Then we'll bring you back and show you what we're going to do with it next. Alright, guys, we got our 15 cups of juice in there. Tina just put the 3rd pouch of pectin in. She's going to put that little dab of butter. That'll help gather up the foam. And we got the heat on the stove set to just over medium. So we're going to go ahead and real slow kind of bring this up to a boil. We'll keep it stirred up and keep it mixed. And I'll bring you back and I'll show you what we do with it next. Alright, guys, we've got our 15 cups of grape juice coming up to a boil now. And this is for a triple batch, 5 cups to a batch, 15 cups. We got it in 3 pouches of pectin and a little dab of butter boiling. And it is time for the massive sugar dump.
Yeah.
That is 21 cups of sugar, guys. Minus a splash. But that is a whole lot of sugar. Alright, T, tell us the next step. What are we doing here?
Okay, bring it back to full boil.
Bring it back to a full boil.
And then you turn the heat down on it and you skim it.
Turn the heat down and skim it. Alright, guys, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to shut this off. We're going to bring this up to a boil. We'll get it back to a boil. I'll bring you back and show you the skimming process. And then we're going to be ready to can this stuff up.
Isn't that a pretty color?
It is a pretty color.
Look at that.
It's going to be nice jam.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, we're back in here. And we got the jelly back up to a full rolling boil. It was there for a full minute. We've turned it down now. And we're going to skim some of the foam off of it. That's what Tina's doing here.
And the foam is delicious, by the way.
And the foam is delicious, she says. We save it in a bowl over there, and it makes a good topping for things too. But that little dab of butter you saw her put in earlier, that helps bring this foam to the surface and helps bind it together, makes it easier to catch. So we're going to go ahead, we'll get the rest of this foam off of here, and then we're going to start the canning process. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this scraped off, and we'll come back and we'll show you how to can up the jelly. Alright, guys, we're going to jump in here. Tina has started canning some of these up, but go ahead and wipe the rims down on them to get them up to about 1/4 of an inch of headspace. She's got her lids back here. We'll go ahead and let her get that one set out of the way, and then we'll watch her go through one all the way through, and then we'll call this part done. But I'll show you, she just fills them up to about 1/4 of an inch, and we keep scraping this slime out of the way, but we'll just kind of work around it here too. In between batches we can get some more of it out of the way. wipes them down, and then she's got her lids back here. And she goes ahead and gets one of those on, and they're ready to go in the water bath canner over here. Now that's my job, so I need to let you guys go. I'll get these moved over. We'll get the rest of this canned up. We'll bring you back and show you something else. Alright guys, we're getting out the last of the jelly. Tina's been unloading it. Those are popping under the water there. We'll put them over here on the table. We got quite a few good ones going. I don't know if I can get a good angle to show you the color on those, but they look really great. There you can see some of the color in the back ones there.
You can see this one over here under the light.
Oh, Tina says we can see one over here in the light. Alright guys. Alright, that's going to wrap up the jam, I think. We'll go ahead and we'll get this, we'll get them all over here, get them cooled down, get them sealed up. And then I think tomorrow the plan is to take the rest of the juice and can it up as drinking juice. So we're going to go ahead and we'll film that too and include it in the video. It's going to just kind of be a hodgepodge video, all grapes all the time. So we got grape juicing, grape jelly, and now we're going to can up grape juice. But Tina, get out her other jars and we'll show you how we do that here. It'll be an instant to you, but it'll be tomorrow morning to us. Alright guys, here's that last little bit I was telling you about. Hope you enjoyed watching them make the jelly. We'll come back and we'll show you the final yields on all this stuff at the end of the video. But now we're going to jump in and we're going to show you a little bit of what they call Weck canning, or in German, Weck canning, or Wecking. But we're gonna break out our Weck jars, and we're gonna make some. We've got some grape juice that we had left over from the jam. We're doing this over the span of a couple of days, so we're going to break the juice back out. We're going to get out the Weck jars, and we'll explain those to you. Like I said, they're a glass jar with a glass lid and a rubber seal. But we'll show you how we do that. It's a great way. We like it for the juices and stuff, and some of the water bathing jams. They've got a little bit fancier jars, but we'll show you all of that as we go through it. And we hope you enjoy it. And I'll come back at the end, and we'll tally all this stuff up. Alright guys, for a rare look inside the Bumblebee Junction refrigerator, we're getting the grape juice out, what was left over from making grape jelly the other day.
And it's delicious.
And it's delicious. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to bust it out in these canners here. We'll probably, we'll heat it up in one and we'll can it in the other one. It always helps to have a couple of canners. But
I can get even shorter.
She keeps ducking underneath us. She says she gets even shorter. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to can up this grape juice. We'll show you how we do it as we go along. And we'll bring you back when we get started. Alright guys, we got the juice here in the big canner. And we got it all poured in there. There's a couple things that need to happen now. We got to get it sweet because the grapes are not real naturally sweet. And we have to get it down to that grape juice color. You can see this kind of bright pinkish purple. But we need to get that down to purple grape juice, and that's going to mean clarifying it. So we're going to add sugar to sweeten it up, and then we're going to heat this up, and we're going to add a little bit of butter. That's going to take some of the little particles and stuff out of it and turn it into foam where we can get a hold of it and get it removed out of there, and we'll get down to the clear purple grape juice that everybody's used to seeing. So we got to get this raw grapefruit juice sweetened up and cleared out, and we'll take you along as we do that. So we'll be back as we get a little closer. Alright guys, we'll cut back in here real quick. One of the things we haven't talked a whole lot about is we're getting ready to use these Weck jars for the juice. And Weck jars are a little bit different method of canning. It's not a completely unusual. It's kind of like Tattler lids that you take apart. But it's one of the older methods of canning, and we enjoy doing it. Tina's got since we're going to be water bathing, everything needs to be pretty sterile. So we've got the lids out and sterilized, and we've got the jars in the dishwasher now, and we'll run them through a boiled dip. But we like to get everything nice and clean, and then we're going to show you how we use these Weck jars. Alright guys, we're going to jump back in here real quick. The liquid has gotten up to warm. It's starting to steam, so we're going to pre-sugar it. We know that one bag is not going to be enough to get it completely sweet. So we're going to add, what are those, 4 or 5 pound bags? 4 pound? 4 pound bags. So we're going to go ahead and just add 1 4 pound bag. That'll up the solutes in the solution and help push out the other things that we want out of there to clear it up. So we're going to pre-sugar it, and then we're probably going to add, we'll get it back up hot again, and then we're going to add the butter, and we're going to start taking some of the cloudiness out of the grape juice. Alright guys, we've got this up to temperature, and what we're going to do is, you see the foam there, that's not really skimmable yet, but we're going to add this little bit of butter, and you'll see it'll immediately break the surface on there, and then all around it you'll see it'll start to congeal all the little particulates in the juice, and you see that dark juice compared to the light pink that we were dealing with before. So we're going to go ahead, let this butter run around in here. Tina and I've decided we're up to 2 bags in here of sugar now. And how many gallons of juice? 2.5?
I had 3.5, and I used a gallon for the jam, so yeah, 2.5.
2.5 gallons. So we've got 2 bags of sugar in here already. We're going to add 1 more bag, and that's going to be it. Then we're going to take the foam off, and we're going to get the canning. But you can probably see that that foam has changed a little bit. It's a little more solid. But that butter will run around in there and gather that stuff up and bring it to the surface, and we'll be able to skim that off there, and then we'll be able to bottle our juice. Alright guys, as you can see, the liquid level on the grape juice has gone way, way down. That's because we started without y'all. What we've done is we have some tall Weck jars, and we put them in the canner. We'll go ahead and show you. Tina, get the lid off there for us. But these jars are as tall as the canner. So we wanted to go ahead and get this one processing and get it out of the way. We knew it was going to be close. Not a great example of water bath canning. We got water over the tops of them. But when we take those out, we'll show you taking them out. And then we'll fill some more normal looking jars and show you how that Weck canning process goes. Alright guys, we got the big jugs of juice out. We're starting to work on the little Weck jars. But we'll get over here. We'll take a look at the Weck jars over here behind Tina. But it's a European canning method. It's an older, little bit old school. Some of the older jars have clips that go all the way across the top. This is kind of an Americanized, Canadianized version of Weck jars. But we're going to go ahead and get these put together. I'll show you how Tina does it, or we'll look over her shoulder. It's basically the same process as regular canning. She's going to put a ring together with a lid, the rubber rings. I'll get down in here and show you those. But she'll put the ring together with the lid, put it on the jar. We're using, what, 1 inch of space?
1/2 inch.
1/2 inch. But put those on, then she'll put 2 clips on, no more than 2, no less.
2 clips.
Opposite sides of the jars. But we'll go ahead and get those in, and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, we got these big ones out here, and one thing you want to see as these Weck jars cool, so you help know that they're sealing, is to see those little tabs pointed downward. So the more downward they point, the better off you are in terms of sealing. But we're going to wheel our way over here to Tina. She's got a few of these little guys all done up here. We're going to follow her through the process one more time, and then we're going to probably just finish up off camera. But she's going to go ahead and fill these jars up. I'm going to try to film around her. She's trying to act shorter than she is. You're fine, honey. We'll find an angle. We can adapt. Take it somewhere up between 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And we'll go ahead and wipe the rim on it just like you would a regular canning jar. And we'll get over here in the thing. She'll put a ring together with the lid. Put the lid on the jar. And then it takes 2 clamps. They go opposite each other. One on each side. And then the bozo with the camera sets it off in the water bath canner for her. So I'm going to shut this off. That's how you do it. We'll get them all in the canner. We'll run them for 15 or 20 minutes, whatever it calls for. Then we'll pull them out, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit and show you exactly what we got when we were done. Alright guys, we're going to jump back in here one last time, and we'll give you kind of a view of what we got out of our grapes for the year. But we got 6 big, little over a liter jars. We got 5 little half-liter, and 6 just drinking size ones. There may be, 2 cups or so, pint size. But that's what we got in juice. And I don't know how many we got in jam. So
23.
23 half pints.
Yep.
In jam. And alright guys, everybody always asks, so we're going to flip one. Everybody always asks if it sits. It does. We try to flip one, or flip one out of the middle or something. Random pick one. Nobody say we're hedging our bets here. But pick one and I won't tell you where to pick one from. But anyway, that recipe that we give for the jam, that'll set for you if you need it to set. We don't, we gave up. Guys, when we started canning, we made a lot of fruit syrup too. So,
yeah.
if you'll follow the recipe, it's 5 cups of fruit to 7 cups of sugar and 1 box of pectin. You stick to those ratios there, you'll usually be good to hook. So, I want to show you those downward tabs on the jars here. That means the Weck jars are sealing up. We'll pull, when they're completely cool, we'll pull the little metal tabs off of them. We'll give a tug on the lids and make sure they stay on. And guys, that's how you can tell if they're sealed. That little tab there will stay down. But that's our yield for the year. We're going to let Tina get going. And we'll come back and talk to you here in just a second. Alright guys, that's about going to wrap it up for the Grape video. Hope you've stuck around this long. If you have, we really appreciate it. If you like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll give it a big thumbs up and leave us a comment down below. Tell us how you do your canning, or if you've got a secret recipe for your grapes, then let us know that too. But either way, leave us a comment down below. Just say hello. We'll try to say hello back. We enjoy interacting with you guys. But if you like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. Down next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you'll ring that bell, that'll send you a notification whenever we release a new video. Guys, that's a great way to keep up with the channel. So we really appreciate you guys coming by. I know it was a long video today. We really appreciate it. We've got a big mail call coming up. We've got some, Tina's going to show us how to make some strawberry jam here coming up. And I think we're even going to dive into a little bit of banana bread. We heard there was a little bit of a shortage down there in Colombia. I guess a fungus took out the banana crop in Colombia. So we went ahead and picked up a few extra bananas. And it doesn't take much of an excuse to talk Tina into baking. So we'll have a banana bread recipe coming out here pretty quick. But guys, we'll go ahead and let you go. We really appreciate you coming by the channel. We'll catch you in the next one.